going on, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It's Drinks After Work with Shelly Nicole. That's me. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. Well, I guess happy Monday for anybody who's happy on today's Monday. But hope you guys had a great day. My day was okay. Wasn't bad. It was rather busy at work today, but you know, when is it ever not busy at work at this point? And that we're getting into the holiday season, I'm like just praying and dreading it at the same time. Because apparently, according to the news, it's going to be even worse this year than it was last year. But who knows? I'm just thankful that I even have a job. So let's just start off with that on a good Monday, right? That I am grateful that I have a job and you have a job and everybody just has a job. And if you know, in between jobs, it's okay too. You're looking for another job, that's all right too. Things will happen. We're going to make it work. But nonetheless, this weekend was cool. I didn't do much of nothing this weekend. Watched the game. All the games. Well, not really all the games. I watched like 3 of the games. And then I fell asleep on all the other ones, so it doesn't matter. But tonight I'm going to watch... I don't even know who plays tonight. Who the hell plays tonight? God, there's a lot of them that play tonight. Got the Bucks and the Cavs play tonight. I'm going for the Cavs on that one. You got the Lakers and the Pistons. You got the Knicks and the Rockets. You got a lot. Goodness. Celtics and the Hawks. Grizzlies and the Nets. I don't know. Don't ask me if I'm betting either because I'm not. Because I just never win. So we're just going to, enjoy the game. That's what we're gonna do. But nonetheless, my weekend was just pretty calm. It was chilled. Nothing much. But tonight's episode is about the 80-20 rule. Now, if you guys are following me, again, you should be following me on Instagram. So go make sure you follow on Instagram, drinksafterwork_podcast_. I asked everybody if they knew what the 80-20 rule was. And there's a bunch of 80-20 rules, right? There's an 80-20 rule when it comes to being in a relationship, and there's an 80-20 rule when it comes to your health. There's an 80-20 rule when it comes to finances. There's an 80-20 rule when it comes to everything. But in this particular situation, we're talking about 80-20 rule when it comes to not only just cheating, but feeling as though grass may be greener on the other side when it really isn't. And I say that to say this. When you have your 80, well, actually, I'm going to just say that later. But that's basically what this episode is about. So let's get into it. I think I mentioned the movie, Why Did I Get Married? So if you saw Why Did I Get Married, the first one, Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married? 2 of the characters were Sheila and Mike. And Sheila was played by Jill Scott, and Mike was played by Richard T. Jones. Basically, they had a relationship. But if you haven't watched the movie, go watch the movie. I think it's like literally playing anywhere that you could watch a movie. Basically, Mike was cheating on Sheila with Sheila's friend, so-called friend, and basically ended up having a whole, like, the girl's name, what was her, I think her name was Pam. Was her name Pam? I think her name was Pam. I believe her name was Pam. I'm not sure, but nonetheless, Mike was having an affair on Sheila with Pam, and Pam was Sheila's friend. Mainly doing it because of how Pam looked. Sheila was more of a heavyset woman, and instead of Mike coming to Sheila's defense and, helping her out, getting her back in the gym, eating healthier and doing things that I guess would make him feel more attracted to her, Mike ends up sleeping with Pam. They go on this whole vacation together. He takes the flight with Pam, tells Sheila to drive. Sheila gets there, and Pam and Mike are already there. The entire time that they're there, but until it's announced that he's messing around with Pam, you could just tell and see how he reacts to her and what he says, things that he mentions. And then before she knocks the bottle over his head out of anger, he goes and says something about, I'll give you the house, or I'll give you this, or I'll give you that. And then, snaps his fingers in her face, I guess, to like get her attention. But she's just like more so in shock. She's mortified that it's happened in front of their friends. Sheila this whole time was thinking that like and Sheila just kept saying like, oh, it's me. I know it's me. If I would just do X, Y, and Z, he wouldn't feel this way and everything would be different. Nonetheless, it all turned out to be that he wanted Pam just for what she looked like, because she was just physically his type and probably nowhere near emotionally his type, or didn't do or couldn't do half of what Sheila was doing for him for the however many years that they were together. And that's what I mean when I talk about the whole 80-20 rule and the whole 80-20 situation, especially now with the dating pool being what the dating pool is, and everyone feeling like they have so many options because they have Instagram, because they have Facebook, because they have Twitter, because they have the freaking, what's the other thing that they have now? Threads. That's the name of it, Threads. I mean, they have all of these, like, basically all of these apps and all of these ways for you to have to meet people, which in a sense is good. I mean, even with the dating apps and everything, you have all of these different ways for you to like start dating or to meet people, like I said. But at the end of the day, when you're in a relationship, it's kind of like, I feel like the temptation is way more now, and there's so many different ways for you to go about it. There's so many different ways for you to find someone who's not your someone who's completely different from what you're used to, someone who can fulfill your fantasy. A lot of people, I wouldn't even say just guys, a lot of guys and girls just talk to these people that they're interested in, physically attracted to, because it just fulfills a momentary likeness, if you will. Like, it just fills in a void for the moment of what they've just been fantasizing of, or what they think that they can get. And then the thing is too, what the crazy shit is, you can actually portray yourself to be someone completely different, catfish, and get exactly what it is you want from this said person, because you have no reason to not you don't need to be yourself. You could be the person who you want to be, and it can definitely come off as that through a screen, and it just makes it even harder, I think, for people to just be their authentic self, but then also just to stay committed to that one person. So what does that 80% look like in your relationship? So basically, this is the person who you can talk to, have conversations with. You can rely on them to keep up with what it is they're saying. They're not just going to just talk shit and then not back it up. They're going to be a man or a woman of their word. You trust them with your life. You trust them with your body. They're good for your nervous system. They may piss you off here and there. I mean, that just happens. That comes naturally. I mean, in any relationship, no matter how long you're with them. They give you this sense of peace. You feel at home when you are just around them. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be anywhere in the world. You could be doing anything. But just the fact that they're there next to you, they give you that peace. They give you that serenity. They give you that moment of letting your guard down and not being afraid to just be who you are. They are probably the complete opposite of you. Not like a whole different person, but they are definitely the opposite of you. They're not the same person who you've normally dated. They are completely different. They're exactly who you prayed for. And not only that, but they can take care of you, again, mentally, physically, emotionally. They know every part about you, and they fulfill that part in every single way. And again, there may be some things that they do that irritates the shit out of you. That just happens. That's just in any relationship. And I feel like even today, with, again, there being so many ways for you to interact with everybody because of the internet and because of the apps and the Instagram and whatever, everyone thinks that they need to find someone who is literally 100%, literally someone who is perfect. Let's just be clear, okay? You're not going to find that. You're not going to find 100% perfection. You're not. Your person isn't going to always check off every single entire box. The only boxes that, should not even be touched or even like mentioned, obviously. I don't think anybody obviously doesn't want anybody who's physically abusive, mentally abusive, and none of that. Financially, obviously that's something that you need to exit stage left on. Well, I would hope you guys know to exit stage left on that. But you need to have someone who's good for every part of you. I said this, like, I think this is an episode that I have like for the future where I said it's going to be an episode about being good for your nervous system. And if this person can't even like keep you calm when life is just lifing, and if this is someone who you can't even turn to and feel like, damn, I can just let go of everything, like just quiets the noise in your head, quiets the noise on the outside, then this is not the person who you're supposed to be with. If they're bringing more chaos to your life and more drama and more issues to your life, then this isn't who you're supposed to be with. But not a lot of the times, it's people think like the one little argument that they get into or the one little bad situation that they encounter with their partner that, oh, well, now it's done, it's over, we can't be together. That's not necessarily the case. And then that's when people start going towards the 20. People start looking for the filler. You can call them a filler, a place filler. You can call them a temporary hold. You can call them the 20%. You can call them whatever you want to call them. These are just people that's going to fill in that hole that your 80 is not filling in at the moment. And if that means, like, again, it can literally mean anything. It doesn't necessarily have to mean sex. It can mean anything that they're just filling in a void right now that your partner is not hearing from you or your partner is not getting from you. A lot of the times it doesn't end well. One, because you might get caught for the most part. Two, it's a temporary feeling. You're not going to, it's like once that person fills that void, you're good until you need that fixed again. It's like a drug almost. And it doesn't do you any good by playing with someone's emotions like that either. But I feel like when you push towards that 20 and you look so deep for that 20%, you end up losing sight on what that 80 actually gave you. Now, do you expect your partner to always give the 80 and you always give the 20? No. If that's even the case too, where you are always giving, you're always having to be the 80 in your relationship and your partner is always the 20, that's a damn headache. I've been there. I've been there where I was always the 80. I was always giving. And it's like, at what point do you then pour into me? And then I feel like, okay, I'm getting something in return as well. You cannot always be the 80 in the relationship. I don't care what anybody says. No one can ever feel happy being the top dog all the time in the relationship and getting nothing back in return. That shit is tiring. That is very tiresome. And I know that can also lead, I feel like personally, that can lead someone to that 80, the person who gives the 80, that can sometimes lead them to go and find someone else who is either an 80 just the same as they are, or go and find someone who is who's going to fill in that 20, but who's also willing to just still give in to build up another 80 for them. You know what I mean? Like willing to have and be 100% for each other, but in the sense of if they're the 80 and then, you know, you're now the 20, or they meet someone who is a 20, they start to like express themselves and basically become an outlet to this 20% person, who then feels like, well, shit, I was missing my 80 and you're my 80. It's a lot of math. I know I'm saying a lot of numbers right now, but basically just finding someone else who's going to fill that void for them, and realizing that there is somebody else who will bring me up just as much as I need to bring them up. They will bring me up, and complementing each other to where you guys are both in a healthy, I guess, place of being in a relationship. But if you're always constantly having to be that 80% and always having to give all the time, it is exhausting. It's exhausting. It really makes you feel unappreciative. It really makes you feel like you're just doing things and not even a thank you, not even a I'm proud of you, not even like a small gesture, a small gift, or I thought about you, here's what I got you. Like nothing really. Now, me personally, I won't turn around and just cheat on you. I'm going to leave your ass. I'm going to first talk about it. I'm going to address it. And I'm going to say something about it that's bothering me. I am. And I feel like everybody should do that. I don't understand, again, why at this age with so many podcasts like my own who's very open and telling people like you need to communicate. You need to talk. Like, I don't care what has happened in your past. I don't care what has happened with the other relationship. I don't care what you're used to. If I'm letting you know that, hey, this is a safe place. And if I can see you trying, and if I can see you moving in that, and even if I have to help you, I will help you. I'll help you get to see like, hey, you know, listen, talk to me about this. What's going on with that? If you see I'm trying to help bring it out of you, and you're still being very reluctant to not communicate with me and not tell me what's going on, okay, after a while, I gotta go. I have to go because I can't, and I don't think anybody can sit here and constantly try and ask for someone. It ends up feeling like we're begging for you to just do the simplest things of speaking and letting me know what's on your mind and what's bothering you and how can we fix this situation. But that literally becomes, and it literally becomes a job. It becomes a job where you always have to show up. You always have to be this happy person. You always have to give. You always have to do. And then this one is just sitting here like a lump on the freaking log and just like looking around and like, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. No, that's fine. Whatever you want. Da-da-da. It's just like, okay, you know what? At this point, you don't even want to be here. Oh, no, I do want to be here. I do want to be here. Why would you say that? Then they become very combative. They want to be really argumentative. No, what's really the problem? Because why are you even, what's going on? Like, let's talk here. Another perfect example is like, even with my own, I mean, I've talked to you guys about my past and the things that I allow you guys to know. With my exes, them cheating and being told later on, you know, I was looking for you in everybody else that I was dating. And I'm not going to hold you. I did a little hair flip when I was told that, like, yeah, I know. That part. Because it was the same thing. According to them at the time, I was the 80, which I knew. And they were looking for more. A lot of the times, too, I feel like when people are trying to look for the 20% that's not there in their relationship or in that 80 of their partner, a lot of it has to do with them and them not feeling fulfilled in their own life. And so they feel like if they're trying to find little bits and pieces, and that means messing around with other people constantly. because they're just not fulfilled within themselves. And again, this is not just on guys, it's not just on girls, it's just a human thing, it's a people thing, where like you think you have it all, or you feel like you may have it all, but you really don't, because you still need to go search for it everywhere else. That, I think, is also another reason why people go for the 20, because it's not just simply off of, what else they can, wanting to find something else within themselves. I feel like it's just, I'd agreed, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'd agreed. I guess we can also say that too, you're just being greedy. But now the question was asked, and this is after I had posted this on my IG. Someone said, but what if I left that 80 for the 20, and that ended up being the better situation for me? Because wonder if both 80s were too strong for each other, and all I needed was my 20, because I was enough for our relationship for the 80. I was okay with being the 80, and I just needed that 20, but that the person I was with was just giving me way too much, and that's not what I wanted. I just needed someone to be in their 20, like be the 20. And I guess in a sense, I'm assuming that's like just be in. A guy had asked me this question, so I'm assuming he's talking about her being in her submissive state. And I don't know if I want to even equate that to being submissive when a woman is giving 20% and you're just being the 80. But there are some people that will sit here and say that that is true. That as a man, you are the 80. And as a woman, we're supposed to just give and be submissive and give that 20% of what the relationship calls for. In that perspective, I can understand it, because you just want a woman who's just going to be more doting to you and not necessarily. And I guess in his perspective, because I said I would definitely speak on this slightly tonight, but then also on Wednesday at 6 p.m, going on live on Instagram. You guys should log in, tune in. That would be a question that I would ask those who join the live. If you're a man who is giving the 80, is having a woman who's also giving 80 too combative for you? Like, would you equate the 20% to being more submissive and wanting a woman who is more 20% than a woman who is very 80%? In the sense of, yes, the 20% is still going to give you a little bit of what the 80 will give you. Because again, it's not all just looks. It's not all just, sex-wise. But, yeah, okay, the 20% will buy you this, buy you that. You can talk to them here and there. You can, is that still equating to the 20%? With her giving just a little bit of a little sprinkle into the relationship and you giving more of the 80? Or does that not even matter? I don't even know. As I'm even asking this question, I don't even know if that even adds up, honestly. But I would definitely say, though, as I wrap this up, I would definitely say before you leave your 80 for your 20, or before you start looking for that 20%, think about what it is you're possibly risking and what the consequences behind it will possibly come to you if you end up leaving, or if you end up getting caught, or if you end up going, for that 20 that seems to bring you to life, but the 80 isn't giving you, but you're leaving the 80 for what this little 20 is going to give you. Think thoroughly before you do that. And then it can also be a situation of, you may have an 80, you may meet another 80, but how do you choose between which 80 is healthier for you? which 80 is giving you. And I feel like with that situation, I feel like it all depends on your needs. Like, granted, the 80 that you have right now, you may have built something with this person, you may have spoken to them, you have years with them, you have, which is another thing that I've heard plenty of times, that years sometimes don't. And I actually heard this from a doctor. I don't even remember his name, but he is he's a therapist, and he does much so. He deals with a lot of this marriage counseling and relationship counseling. And he even said years means nothing, because you can meet somebody who can treat you, that you can meet somebody in 2 months that treats you better than someone who you've known for 2 years. So years has nothing to do with it. It is the person's vibe. It's what they can give you. Are they good for your nervous system? Do they bring you peace? Do you feel like you could be yourself? What do you feel when you look at this person? And when I read that, I was just like, holy shit. Wow. And it's true, because you can honestly meet someone. And I mean, I feel like a lot of us probably think this, and it probably has never happened, but you can honestly meet somebody and feel like, you know what, this person, like he or she gets me. Like, they get me. And you feel like this is home. This is where I'm supposed to be. And then you have this one over here, and it's just like, and I spent all my time with you, and it's just like, you're not getting it. And I'm trying to be patient, and I'm trying to be understanding, but you're still not getting it. So then you start asking yourself, did I just settle for this? Because, yeah, you're my 80. Yeah, you're giving me the 80%, but there are things that I really feel like I just settled for. So that's also another good question. Do you feel like sometimes you may have settled for this 180 that, again, you've known for so long, that you've built this resume with, this whole, life with, and then you meet another 80, and it's just like, but this is the 80 that is giving me what I want now in this older, or this more advanced version of me. It's a difficult situation. It's a very sticky yet not sticky, very simple but yet not simple rule. Your 80-20 rule really has to be based on what that person can give you. And I just, regardless, evaluate your situation before you do any rash decisions. Don't leave your 80 if the 20 just looks good. Don't leave your 80 if just the 20 has a lot of money. Don't leave your 80 just because, I was going to keep it PG, but I'm not. Just because your 20 knows how to suck, fuck, and lick differently, okay? Don't do that. Leave only when you feel like, you know what, I've given it my all. I want to find another 80 who can give me my 80, but also can add, sometimes can even bring the whole 20, can give me the whole 100%, even when I can't bring the 100% to the relationship. I know my partner can do it, because I can rely on them to take up even my 20 when I'm feeling down. That's another thing too. You should want to have someone, and again, I'm not saying 100% is like perfection, but if you're really just not having it and you're having an off fucking day, which we all do, your partner should also be able to take up that 20% that you can't even give and say, okay, I got it. I got the whole bag today. Because I feel like that's a part of a relationship too. There's going to be times where you're going to be the 60 and this person's going to be the 40. Or you're going to have to be the entire 100 and they're going to be 0 because they just can't right now. Mentally, physically, emotionally, work, whatever it may be, it's just like, it's too much. And they need you to be their backbone, to pick them up. And then tomorrow, all right, boom. Now they're back. Maybe shit, tomorrow they're the 100 and you're the 0. It has to like balance each other out. But again, this all comes with communicating. This all comes with knowing your partner. This all comes with being able to say, like, you know, this is what it is and this is how I'm feeling. And I feel like that that can actually, like, you know, avoid a lot of people from going astray and finding, no, I'm talking shit, because it really can't. The way Instagram and everything else is lined up nowadays, it can't, not at all. But I thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you get home safely if you're driving. I hope you guys have an amazing day tomorrow, amazing rest of the week. Make sure you guys tune in Wednesday at 6 p.m. on live, Drinks After Work _podcast. You guys can join in on the conversation. I am open to every single body's opinion. No one's wrong. This is just an open forum. Have your drink with you. I drank some tea tonight. I have to start telling you guys what I'm drinking while I'm recording this, because I'm drinking after work. But this time I was only drinking tea. I had some green tea. Not every time it's going to be alcohol, so that is okay. But yes, enjoy the rest of the night. Love you guys for listening. Like, share, and comment. I'll check y'all later. Bye.